All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is February 15th. We got a 3-game NBA Thursday here before we dive into the All-Star break. But yeah, we got 3 games to dive into in today's video like we always do. We're going to go through each and every one of these games, so all 3 of them. I'm going to give you my lean on the spread. I'll give you my lean on the total. We'll talk about any player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, keep an eye on the pinned comment for our final plays. That is what I'm actually rolling with myself. If you do want to fade me and do the opposite. Apologies if this is, I know yesterday you guys were like, oh, don't worry about it, but still not feeling 100%. We got some sort of bug. It's killing me, killing my sleep. So hopefully we make it through this video. It is a short slate, so that should be good. But just wanted to get out and say that before we dive into the video. But yeah, in terms of last night, like I said, we didn't want to go too crazy. We were pretty conservative. We had 3 plays. We had the Magic money line, the Cavs team total over, and then Evan Mobley over 13.5 points. We go 2 and 1, so we'll take the profit there. I really like the Magic minus the 3.5 for the minus 110. Almost pulled the trigger on that, but paid the juice for the minus 160 money line. But nonetheless, we'll take the 2 and 1 night. And our ride of the day, picked it, is on fire here. Had Santi Aldama under 21.5 PRA. That cashes with ease. That means he's now hit 3 in a row, looking for his 4th chance to hit his ride of the day in today's video. If you guys don't know what the ride of the day is, all you have to do is use hashtag ride of the day in the comments. I'm jumping on board with one person's pick in the comments, giving you a shout out right here on the channel in the next video, or well, actually, and on my Twitter at EvGuyBoston. If you guys do want to follow me there, you get a shout out win or loss. We hope you get the win like Picked It has been doing as of late. And as of late, if you win, we continue to ride with your pick. So Picked It will be looking for your pick today. But make sure you guys all get your ride of the days in the comments, because like I always tell you guys, if and when we need to jump to someone else because a loss comes along, I'm scouting. I'm seeing who's on fire, who's been hitting as of late. But let's go ahead and jump into today's slate. Should probably be a shorter video because of the slate. Just 3 games, but you know we can rant and ramble. But let's see. We got the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Bucks here. Grizzlies 11-point dogs at home. Total sitting at 225. Grizzlies coming off of a win last night against the Houston Rockets. They were at home, so, you know, that is worth noting. Like I even tell you guys, I'm always kind of like auto-fading the Rockets on the road. The Milwaukee Bucks coming off of a bad loss to Miami a couple nights back. I do think that the Bucks bounce back and win this game, but I am not comfortable with them, 1 on the road and 2 with an 11-point favorites. 3 heading into the All-Star break here. Giannis, Dame are both questionable in this spot, as well as Middleton being ruled out already. Now, we know Memphis has a boatload of injuries. We already understand that. Their injury report is kind of shrinking, which is actually kind of crazy, but not that I think it's that big of a deal. But you know, you have Brandon Clark, game time decision. You have Pippen, game time decision. Like, maybe some of these guys are coming back. I doubt it, because why wouldn't you just wait a little bit and rest up even more through the All-Star break? But nonetheless, this is more of a fade the Bucks plus minus 11 than it is backing the Grizzlies. I don't love the Grizzlies on a back-to-back, you know what I mean? But this Bucks team with a rest advantage this year, just 25% cover rate against the spread. So it's not like the back-to-back should favor the Bucks all that much, especially if Lillard or Giannis or both don't end up playing. So 11 points is just too much for me. I don't think this is going to be a final play, because you could also see if those guys play them just being like, let's go into the All-Star break feeling good and smashing a bad team, right? Like, that's not out of the realm of possibilities. In terms of a total here, I'm slightly leaning towards the under. I've seen this at 23.5 on some sports books as well, FanDuel being one of those. So I do think that that could be an underplay. Make sure you do get it at the best odds or best line available too. Like, you don't want to take the under 22.5. You could have gotten it at 23.5, right? And then a player prop that I don't mind in this spot is going to be Vince Williams Jr. over 23.5 PRA. Not that I love the matchup. I don't mind the matchup. I don't mind him having Chris Middleton's out, so he's going to get the Jay Crowder treatment, which meant a lot more, you know, 8 years ago than it does now. But Williams has hit this in 9 of his last 10 games. He's been coming very close. Like, so it's 23.5. He's landed at 24 twice during those 9 that he's hit, and 25 twice. So 4 of the 9 that he's actually cashed in have been very damn close to not cashing. But he's getting the minutes, right? 34, 36, 37 on the season. When we look at him on the season playing 35 plus minutes, The dude's cashed us in 80% of his games. So if he has the minutes tonight, and I don't really worry about many guys sitting when it comes to Memphis for the All-Star break, getting ready, you know what I mean? So I do think that he's going to get the run, and I expect him to have a decent amount of usage here. So Vince Williams Jr. over 23.5 PRA. But let me be clear, we're being super picky tonight. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I have one final play tonight, right? Like, we'll try and find something. But this is a 3-game slate in a pretty much terrible situation across the league because we're heading into the All-Star break. Don't go crazy. Don't go crazy on a 3-game slate. That is all I ask of you guys. And I mentioned that FanDuel has the best line for the total right now for that Bucks and Memphis game. So make sure you guys go try out FanDuel. You can head over there, use the link in the pinned comment. You can bet $5 on anything, right? Like a money line play, $5. And if that bet hits, you can get $150 in bonus bets. It's absolutely a great deal to go and take advantage of. I pushed FanDuel during the Super Bowl as well. Thank you to everyone that checked it out. It is a great book. If you don't know FanDuel, haven't seen the ads yet, then obviously you're living under a rock. Go check it out, guys. Bet $5, take a huge favorite money line. If that cashes, you get $150 in bonus bets. Kind of a no-brainer if you ask me. Again, that link is going to be in the pinned comment. Let's go ahead and get back into the rest of these games. Next up, we got the Utah Jazz. I'll tell you guys, I'm already struggling in this one, so I'm battling through right now. Utah taking on the Golden State Warriors right now. Utah getting 2 points at home. Total sitting at 237.5. These two teams just recently played a couple games ago for both teams here on February 12th. Golden State won that one in Utah, 129-107. It wasn't a final play of ours, but I leaned towards Utah here in that spot. And it's crazy because, yes, Golden State kind of punked them, but I lean Utah again. I do still think that this Utah team can match up well against Golden State, and Utah is kind of desperate for a win right now, right? Like, they were playing such good basketball for a decent period of time, and now they've won just 4 games in their last 10. If they lose this game, they're going to go into the All-Star break kind of feeling like a fail, like maybe like the season's a failure in a sense. I'm probably being a little drastic here, but like when you think about it, like they're if they go in, into the All-Star break with this bad sort of run, they're going to think that spurt that they actually were playing really well and were healthy was just like a facade, and I don't think it was. I think they do have a decent team that can click and beat some good teams. But, this is one of those games where some people crap on me in the comments for it, but like, I'm not going to fake my confidence. If you guys like Golden State in this spot, by all means, go for it. But Golden State, coming off of a loss last night to the Clippers, a tough loss to the Clippers. Utah coming off of a tough loss to the Lakers. You have two teams now on back-to-backs, and for whatever reason, I just trust the younger legs of the Jazz in this spot. Jazz also at home here, covering in nearly 70% of their games this season. But the Warriors have covered in 67% of games when they are on the road. So, obviously a good look for them there. So, but give me the Jazz +2. I think that seeing the Warriors a couple nights ago probably bodes well. No injuries on the injury report as of right now other than Chris Paul. So it's, I don't anticipate some of the vets for Golden State to sit or anything like that. In terms of a total, like I said, we did see these two teams just play. It was a 129-107 finish. I like the over in today's game, pretty much because of the fact that, 129-107. It was a 236 finish last game, right? That was with the Jazz really not coming to the offensive plate. And I think that they do in this spot here. That was their lowest point total in about 6 games when they played the Warriors, in that game a couple days ago, and that was the lowest team lowest point total the Warriors had held an opponent to in like 5 games. So I do think the Jazz have a little bit more offensive efficiency in this spot. So give me the over in this spot. In terms of player props, this one I don't mind. I don't know if we're going to be playing it because it is kind of a risky one, but I'm looking at John Collins over 10.5 rebounds plus assists. This is a Warriors team that on the year allowing the 5th most rebounds to the power forward position and the 3rd most assists to the power forward position. Now that Walker Kessler, or I should say now that they've traded Simone Fontecchio, Walker Kessler's moved into the lineup, John Collins bumped from the small 5 to kind of his standard position, the power forward. So we'll see, if that continues to bode well for him. But in terms of what he's done lately, he's hit this in 4 of his last 5 and 7 of his last 10. And the reason I'm rolling with this, instead of including points, points have been good for him, but he's not been scoring at the rate that he was, say 3 games ago. He only had 11 points in that game when they played where they played Golden State. So I like his rebounds and assists. He hit that against them last time. He had 12, and let's hope that he does that again. In terms of potentials, he's averaging 16.1 rebound chances per game over his last 10, grabbing 64% of those. So he could almost do this almost do this with rebounds alone. The fact that we have assists in there, he's not a guy that's going to go out there and get a lot of assists. I think we know that. But when he played Golden State last time, he had 5 assists. So you can't really tip your nose at that, right? So that's why I want to include assists in that spot. All right, Portland hosting Minnesota here. We just saw this matchup, 2 days ago, 3 days ago? Portland ends up losing that game 121 to 109. Similar spread. They were 8.5-point dogs. I think Minnesota gets the job done here. Anthony Edwards is questionable. If he doesn't play, I think we'd be silly to lay 9 points with Minnesota. But if he does get the run, then I think that obviously that could be a spot. He had 40 plus against this Portland team when they last played. So it's kind of like, yeah, maybe he's pretty important to covering that point spread. So I like Minnesota in this spot. In terms of total, it is super, super low. I'm going to lean towards the over. I could totally see the defensive intensity just not totally being there. And look at what Minnesota did to Portland last time they played, right? Which was last game, like I keep saying, 121. If Minnesota goes and scores 121, we just need to ask Portland to somehow get to 100 points, and this is an easy over, right? If they score 120 plus, we don't even need Portland to get to 100 points to cash this. So I don't mind looking at the over here, even though Minnesota has that amazing, amazing defense. Their transition offense is actually, they scored a great clip in the transition offense, right? Portland, literally maybe 1 or 2 worst teams in the league at preventing transition offense. So this is a team that, yes, it's not their preference that Minnesota likes to go out there and run in transition, right? But when they do, they're going to be able to score like hot knives going through hot butter, guys. In terms of player props in this game, nothing really jumping out to me at the moment. If we find anything, I'll update you guys in the pinned comment. I don't totally envision it. One thing just from a trend perspective I liked was, DeAndre Ayton has absolutely been crushing his line, but he's going up against Minnesota, which is a tough matchup. That being said, what did he do last time, right? 22 points, 16 rebounds, and an assist. His PRA line is 22.5, so I could consider DeAndre Ayton, but it's like how much do we love betting on DeAndre Ayton? Not that much, but 25.5 for his PRA line. He had 39 last game. His last 5 games here, he's hit it in 4 of them, going over 30 twice. Could be a spot, okay? I'll say that. Could be a spot. But guys, it's going to wrap for today's show. Obviously, a short one. If you watched this video to its entirety, go ahead and comment 12. That lets me know that you made it through this entire video. And go ahead and comment 12, and I'll go ahead and, on my end, put 12, so 1-2, the number, up as a discount over on the Fade Me store for 12% off your order as we head into All-Star break. So yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, you get a nice discount. If you want to support what we're doing here, in fact, I'll pull up some products now because it is a shorter video. If you want to support what we're doing here and pick up some great merch, head over to fademe.store, guys. We have plenty of, or you can get a 10. I'm going to give you a better discount than even our email discount. How about that? But you get the graffiti collection just launched. We have tons of shirts, tons of new shirts out here, tons of hoodies if you're still in the cold weather state, guys. Go ahead and check out fademe.store. Use that code 12, 1-2, so the numbers, not the text, and you'll get 12% off your order today. I'll set that up right after editing this video, so should be good to go. But go ahead and check it out, guys. Great way to support our channel. And yeah, keep an eye out for some updates and whatnot. I am going away this weekend, which kind of times up perfectly with the All-Star break, not missing videos and whatnot. But we may try and get some sort of videos out, or shorts, or TikTok. So yeah, all my socials just, kind of rotated throughout this video. Make sure to check that out. Funny I say that. Instagram is the one that I want to get better at because I barely post there. But nonetheless, guys, we'll catch you in the next one, all right? I'm rambling at this point, and I'm not feeling great. So we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.